and changing who we are, and you will see life in a new perspective. And so that brings me on now, Eric, to, we grow up, we beliefs are formed when we're very young. When we're very young, we grow up with these beliefs and these thoughts. And the words that we use to ourselves as well, that internal dialogue. And how does that really impact how we experience life?
Oh, wow.
Big question.
It does have a great impact. When you have a conversation with someone, at some point they will say, I believe that about myself, I believe that about life, I believe that. But a belief, what is a belief? A belief is just a thought that keeps coming back to you until you make it a belief, until you agree to that thought, right? So there are thoughts that can empower you, and there are thoughts that can put you down. Right? So it's a matter of choosing what you want. But of course, when we grew up, we don't have the ability, and nobody tell us what to do with that. So we start to believe a lot of stories. We start to make a lot of assumptions. So that creates our experience. That creates our own world. And this is when also we disconnect with the reality. Because the minute you go into the story mode, okay, someone says something to you, you make it mean something. So, for example, I like this silly example. One of the time, my ex-wife told me, you didn't turn on the dishwasher. And immediately when she said that, here's what was my reaction. I felt rejected. And I said, well, she didn't see that. I did everything today. I did the dinner. I did everything. All she focused on is that. So when I'm doing that, what is it that I'm doing? I'm going to the story mode, and I make assumption that she's rejecting me, when in fact, it's the way I believe about myself that create that experience. I could have said very simply, honey, I don't really know. I may have forgotten. Just turn on the dishwasher and go to sleep and just let go. But because the way I feel about myself, and because this rejection, I know what it is. I mean, I don't want to recognize it, but I know what it is. And I know it has nothing to do with whatever people say to me. So it's just all the stories that we have, all the assumption, at some point we believe it's true. We make it our reality. And then, of course, it creates our life experience. And so we set us up for suffering. Because in that case, in this silly example that I just gave you, I set myself for suffering. Why do I have to suffer? Why do I have to make a point of something so silly, right? But I did. And I did a few times, not just one time. But this is what we do. So the belief, the thoughts that we have, it's really about, and I learned something from a scientific point. Every day we have like 70 to 80,000 thoughts a day. So we are constantly thinking about something, right? Even if it's unconscious, but we are. And here's the thing. You go to sleep, you wake up the next morning, and you still have 95% of the same thoughts.
Yeah, it's incredible. It blows my mind. We think the same things.
So here's the thing. We recreate every day the same experience.
Yeah.
That's why we feel stuck. That's why we're struggling.
Yeah.
Until we said, okay, maybe I need to change the way I think. Maybe I need to take a new perspective. Maybe what I believe is not granted. Maybe I can find something else. And what would help me in this case, or in this situation, or in this challenge? What kind of belief do I need? What kind of thought do I need to uplift me? And what kind of words I can use to uplift me? I had a session with a client today, and we were talking about the power of words. If I say, I have to go to the gym, that's for me, it's not powerful. I don't want to go to the gym when I say that. But if I say, I want to take care of my body, so I choose to go to the gym, it's a totally different story. So you can see the power of your words and the powers of our words. And for me, it's really about integrity, how we use our words to empower us and to inspire us to move on and to take action towards what we have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So does that come back to the awareness? So you become aware of whether that belief is really yours or not? Is that what you were led to believe as a small child, and that's really your mother's, your father's, your teachers, your friends, whatever, not even your belief, and those words that are going on in our minds? So is it about, would you say it's about questioning and asking ourselves, is this really true to me? Does this sit well with me? You know, is this me? Or is it something I've learned, and I can choose to let this go if it's got nothing real. If it's not me, I'll just let it go.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have new thoughts every day. You know, we want to do something, and we have a thought. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe okay. And then we believe the thoughts. But if we start to question the thoughts, okay, why do I have to believe that I can't do that? Why do I have to believe that it's not possible? Why do I have to believe that every relationship I'm in, I fail? Why do I have to believe that I always attract bad things to my life? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really also about questioning when the thoughts are coming, and not believe that, and not taking for truth. And then you can create your own thoughts. You can create your own belief, and then you can create your life experience. But it takes some power, it takes some courage, and it takes some power to do that. And the only way that I know to have the power to do that is to be in tune with yourself. That's what we talked about in the beginning. Strengthen the relationship with yourself. Be your priority. Be the love of your life. I love that those words. Be really the love of your life, and stop looking for outside what you already have from the inside. And just do whatever it takes, even if you have no idea what it is and what it looks like. Just pretend you know, and just feel that. What would I feel if I knew what it is to have a different experience in my life? And then you start to have a new inner dialogue with yourself. And then your brain will pick up on that. And when you start to change the inner dialogue with yourself, this is also how you change your experience, because you take a new perspective and you change the way you believe about things, and then you start believing in yourself, and then you start to have more self-confidence, and then you start to know that if I am my priority, I have to take care of myself. If I take care of myself, I will be able to take care of others, and I will be able to be more understanding with people, to be more loving. To be more loving with myself, but also to be more loving with others. And if I can connect with the deep down of my desires and who I am, then I can connect more with other people, because I know what they're going through. So there is some sort of acceptance, but understanding and compassion that goes with that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know totally what you mean, Eric. But you're unable to do that unless you've had that connection deep inside of yourself. So you actually see different things in other people, don't you? You actually see them in a different light.
Yeah, absolutely. And it reminds me something in my last divorce. It was really unexpected, my last divorce, right? Because when you marry the third time, you really think it's going to make it, right?
I think this is it. Third time lucky.
Exactly. No, really. I was this. So it was really tough. But when we decided to get separated, of course, I was angry. I was hurt. I was in pain. I was suffering. Really, I was overwhelmed with everything. But then I said to myself, Eric, you already divorced twice. You're not going to do that the same thing again. You have to change your experience, okay? Even if I don't know what is it to change my experience. And when I said that to myself, I said, what if I bring love to my situation, and what if I bring love to myself? And then suddenly, what appears to me, it's if I'm suffering, my wife is also suffering. If I'm doing my best, she's doing her best. So who am I to judge her experience? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I started to be more understanding. And then the result of that is we could heal our relationship. We could finally have honest conversation, just sharing our experience. And I didn't try to change her experience because she has a unique way of experiencing things like I have. But I just was okay with whatever was her experience. And all I told her is, I'm here for you and I'm here to support you. And I'm sorry it didn't work out, you and me, but I know you're doing your best. And that's what I'm doing myself. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and the result of that is that's the only ex-wife that I'm friend with. We are very friends. We support each other. There is no 1 week when we don't talk about it, and we have a daughter. So we still really, we are a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't have the intimacy. We are not a couple because that's not working. But everything else can work because we still have a connection. We still love each other. I love her, in a different way than if I was in a romance with her. Yes. But I do have things for her. So why do I have to suppress that? Which what we do when we break up, right? We try to suppress that. We try to resist about the feelings that we have. But feelings is just energy. It's just love is just an energy. So if I love someone, even if it's my ex-wife, I can use that energy for myself. I can use the energy of love to maybe create something new in my life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love the way you shared that. Thank you, Eric. Yeah. So anyone out there experiencing, these feelings themselves, there is a different way. You don't have to feel the way that you are right now. You really don't. And Eric sharing that has, really, a brilliant example to us all, Eric. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, sure.
So, we could go, I could just dive into this and talk to you about this all day, because it's such an exciting, amazing topic to me, Eric, because it really does change your life. And it changes, it's like putting on a new pair of glasses, but not just what you see, what you feel. And all of us, doesn't matter what we're doing in life, we're all after feelings. That's what we're all after, whether it's relationships, whether it's money, whether it's health. It's all we want, the feeling, isn't it? And I think that is the amazing thing, that all the work that you do doesn't just create, you show up differently, but it actually, you feel differently, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And when you change your experience like that, when you do, all we've talked about, then you really start to be happy. You really, start to be grateful. And actually, I love this word gratitude because it's when you start to feel grateful and gratitude for everything in your life. This is, I think, a sign that you are aligned with who you are deep down. And for me, that was the point. And if somehow, if I have to give one advice to the people who are listening to this show, because we have so much expectation in life, and what if we could trade our expectation with appreciation? Yes. What if we can do that and stop trying to fix others and stop trying to think that people have to be the way we want them to be, but just let them be free to be who they want to be. And in the same way, we can be whoever we want to be. And it's just the beauty of life and just the beauty of connection. And then you can show up in connection in life with total freedom because you created a space where you just be present. So you let go of the past, you let go of the stories. And there is a huge feeling of freedom. Because you were talking about feeling. So there is a huge feeling of freedom and a huge feeling of peace. And then, as you said, it doesn't mean that you won't face challenges again. And you and I, Louise, we know that we still face challenges in our relationship. We are still learning. But the thing is, the difference is we know how to reconnect quickly. We know how to step back and to take a new perspective very quickly.